Welcome back to our YouTube channel. And today we are going to talk about first order circuits. So when we talk about first order circuits, they are circuits whose equations are found in their differential form and usually are resistor capacitor circuits and resistor inductor circuits. That's RC and RL circuits. That is generally what first order circuits are. Okay, so when it comes to these two circuits, their voltages or currents will be expressed, current expressions will be expressed in their differential form. So at any time or at any point in time, we have a general formula that we can use to calculate for whether it's a voltage or a current. So when we are dealing with RL circuits, for RL circuits, we will deal with the current. So we will say I of t is equal to I naught e exponent negative of t on tau, where I naught is the maximum current that is flowing through the inductor right before the circuit is being opened. Then your tau is equal to your time constant. That is for RL circuits, we have your inductance over your resistance. Okay, but this resistance is equivalent to a Thevenin equivalent resistance. So this kind of resistance is a Thevenin equivalent resistance. Okay, so we'll go into details with the question and see how far we are going to go about the RL circuits. And when it comes to RC circuits, when it comes to RC circuits is being represented in terms of the voltage that is going to be V naught E exponent to the negative t all over tau, where V naught is going to be the maximum voltage that is across the capacitor right before the circuit is being opened. Then we will say our tau is equal to RC, where this is also the Thevenin equivalent resistance. Okay, so this time constant is just telling us the amount of value or the amount of value that has been obtained or that has been removed or that has decayed from the original or initial value. So I can say maybe 1/4. The time constant is equivalent to 36.8% of the initial value. So every time constant is equal to the 36.8% of the initial value. That means 36.8% of the initial value has decayed. So with time, our when I open my circuit and I'm looking for a voltage. With time or as time increases, the voltage will also be decreasing. When it comes to the current too, the same thing happens. So without much ado, let's work on our calculation so that we'll get a better understanding of whatever we've talked about so far. So this is our first question. The switch in the circuit of this figure, that is figure 4.8, has been closed for a long time at t equals 0. At t equals 0, the switch is opened. We should calculate for I of t for t is greater than 0. Okay, so this is telling us that before the time t equals 0, when we say time t equals 0, that means the present time, the time we are in now. Before this time t equals 0, we had closed the circuit, so the circuit was this way. Let's go. A 2 ohm resistor, and the switch was closed with another 4 ohm resistor with another 16 ohm resistor. All that the certain inductor. Okay, so Henry I of T, 4 ohms, 16 ohms, 12 ohms, and 2 ohms. We have our 40 volts here. Okay, so with this, we know the time before this. So we can represent the time before t equals 0 as time from negative infinity because for a very long time. So we can assume that it's from negative infinity to 0 minus before the 0 itself. That's how that is 0 minus. Okay, so what happens here? In during this time, we 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 can say that this 2 Henry inductor has been able to obtain its maximum current because it has been a very long time since the circuit has closed. So it has obtained its highest value of current. So at this point, the inductor behaves like a short circuit. So it behaves like a short circuit. So we say now the circuit is this way. So let's say right before we open the circuit, we can say our inductor is behaving as a short circuit now because almost every current or all the current is assumed to pass through the branch where you can find it. So this is a short, or let me see, a branch like a short circuit. So we have our maximum current here, and from our formula, we said our maximum current is said to be I naught. Okay, so since we know this, let's say 2 ohms, 40 volts, 12 ohms, 4 ohms, 16 ohms. Okay, so whenever you have a short circuit and the current is flowing through the branch, it finds the easiest path. So at this branch, we have a resistive component there. Hence, immediately the current reaches this junction, it goes straight ahead to the easiest path, that is the short circuit branch. Hence, there's no current flowing through the 16 ohm resistor. Hence, we can our redraw our circuit as though there's no 16 ohm resistor. So I can say, okay, then my 12 ohm resistor. So for every short circuit, it is assumed that the current will pass through there easily. Okay, so this is my 4 ohm, this is my I naught, this is my 12 ohm, and this is my 2 ohm with a 40 volt. So we can clone this. Okay, so right now I want to find the current flowing through this branch. And the current flowing through this branch will be the same current flowing through the 4 ohm resistor, right? So when the current passes to this junction, it will split. So first of all, I have to find the total resistance and find the total current entering this junction. So what is the total current entering this junction? First, we have to find our total resistance. So let me see RT. How do I find my total resistance? I can see that this 4 ohm resistor and this 12 ohm resistor, they are in parallel since this and this branch and that branch are holding hands. So to make it simple, I can do it this way, like so that I get a better understanding. 4 ohm, 12 ohm is the same as this. So we can say that they are in parallel. Hence, I find my parallel resistance, that is 12 ohm is in parallel with 4 ohm. And when it becomes in parallel, now they become in series with our 2 ohm resistance. So I find my product, 12 product over my sum. 12 plus 4 is 16 plus 2. So I end up getting setting 5 ohms. So that is my total resistance. So if I want to find the current flowing through this 2 ohm resistor or the total current entering here, I will say let's represent this by, let's say, I1. So my I1 my I1 is equal to what? First of all, V is equal to IR. So I1 is equal to my V, that is my 40 over my RT, that is 5. Hence I get a certain 8 amps. So it is 8 amps entering this junction. But this junction, it splits according to Kirchhoff's current law. And I can use current division to find the current that is flowing through the 4 ohms. So that is the current flowing through the 4 ohms is equal to I naught. So my I naught is equal to the opposite, or let's say parallel resistance, that is 12 ohm, the parallel resistance to the 4 ohm, to 12 ohms all over the sum of the resistances, 12 plus 4. All that multiplying the total current entering that junction, that is I1. So this is going to give us 12 on 16 times 8. So we end up getting certain 6 amps. So we say, sorry, we say can also say from our time, when our time is from what? Negative infinity to the time right before 0 or 0 minus. We can see our I naught can be obtained from that duration, 6 amps. So when you want to find my tau, that is my time constant, which is, this is an inductor, so L on R. To get my Thevenin equivalent resistance, I have to, I can obtain that when my circuit was opened. So the circuit is opened at when, right after the present time to positive infinity. So I can say to also be opened for a long time. So during this time, we can say that our t is equal to 0 at this point. This whole thing is open. Hence, this aspect goes away. Okay. So since this aspect goes away, we have only this branch left. This aspect left. So we redraw it as this, that, and that. Now we have our short circuit here. But mind you, we want to find the equivalent resistance. So we open circuit this terminal because we want to find our RTH. So we open circuit this, and now this is our 4 ohm, 12 ohm, and 16 ohm. So you can see this 12 ohm and that 4 ohm are in series. So their series connection becomes in parallel to the 16 ohm. So 12 plus 4 is 16. 16 ohm is parallel to another 16 ohm, which is 16 by 16 all over 16 plus 16. And that will give us our RTH. So our RTH is going to give us a certain what? 8 ohms. But mind you, what we need here is not just the RTH, we need our tau. So our tau is equal to L on R, that's the RTH. So let me write it so that you don't get confused. So what is our L? Come back here. Our L, our L, our L is 2 Henry. 2 Henry. So 2 Henry over 8, that is 1 over 4 seconds. And our unit for the time constant is in seconds. Okay. So since we have our time constant, and we can recall our formula for I of t, that is the current at any point in time, is equal to our maximum current when the circuit is closed or right before the circuit is to be opened, multiplying e exponent negative of the time all over the time constant. So I can say my I naught is 6 amps. Okay, 6 e exponent negative of t all over my tau. My tau is 1 on 4. Hence I can say 6 e exponent negative 4t, all in amps. So this is my I of t. So when I'm told to find the current after 2 seconds of opening, I can say I of t is equal to 6e exponent negative 8, exponent negative 4, negative 4, and my t is 2. So 6e exponent negative 8, all in amps. I compute this into my calculator. That is 6e to the power negative 8. And we get our I of 2 to be equal to 2 milliseconds approximately. So this is just an add-on. So at any point in time after the circuit has been opened, we can use this general formula to find it. Thank you. Bye.